Well, getting ready to give out some candy here in a little bit to some little goblins. Are going to be showing up any time, but this is Terry Hinkle, author of Plan B, Secrets of the Divine Feminine, and artist and all sorts of stuff. And namaste, man. Good to see you. You are fun to watch. Thank you for joining, and anybody that comes on here later. But while I'm waiting for if anybody shows up, give you a little bit of background before I start this ghost story. True story. First time I ever did. Thank you, man. And I had a nationally syndicated radio show. And one of the many things that we did I had Dr. Wayne Dyer, we had Brian Weiss on past lives, we had Lynn McTaggart about the field, quantum physics. I mean, I got to talk to wonderful people, some Wiccan priestesses and Buddhist monks, and got to see hands-on healing. I mean, I was the dummy. So we became really, really big, really fast. Well, one of the things we kept doing was doing live ghost hunts, and this was 15 years ago. This is before the Discovery Channel, before every channel had some kind of ghost hunt. So a hairy white guy just joined. Well, that looks like me a little bit, doesn't it? I'm getting this longer hair because I'm doing all this artwork, so I'm looking like an artist. Hello from Morocco. Hey, Morocco. Brian Weiss. Yes, many masters, many lives. What a neat guy. He's from St. Louis, and he is just amazing. He was fantastic right when he just got started. So anyway, one of the things we did, as I was saying, I'll go ahead and start telling the story because it changed everything for me. As an old artist, as an old advertising guy, I didn't have any, preconceived notion of yes, there are ghosts or no, there are not ghosts. As an artist, you live, in that gray area where anything is possible. So this was, again, like I said, 15 years ago. There was nothing like this being done. And so we decided we would do out in Labadie, Missouri, which is this beautiful place. There was a young lady and her husband, both models, both I'd use them for Budweiser and everything, and she was also a playmate. I won't say what month and what year, so you'll know who she is. But wonderful people, and they had built this place on this ridge. And all of a sudden, their daughters were saying, well, they're playing with this little girl. And they, what do you mean you're playing with a little girl? There's no neighbors around here. So, well, this little ghost, she comes and plays ball with us, and she does all these things. Well, they called me and says, you're going to start doing these things. Could you do the first one at our place? I said, well, sure, I will. So we got 2 TV cameras. It was going to be, back then, around 2000, it was going to be a radio show, an internet show, and what does it say here? It says, brother, we have Halloween in U.S. ghost story time now. Yes, this is true. Wait till what happens here. So we had 2 TV cameras. Online, you'd go and find out the young kids, the young high school kids and young college kids that are learning an EMF meter and all these things. And you could pair them up to where we were going to go. You'd see the history of everything. And I had 2 cameras, 2 TV cameras there. We had a few of the smaller digital cameras. And I found these. We had an amazing psychic. Joyce Alwoman. I haven't talked to her in years. I hope she's doing good. But we also found these guys that were doctors, PhDs from Washington University here in St. Louis. Of course, here in St. Louis, where The Exorcist was originated from. We have lots of haunted places. I'll tell more ghost stories. We did about 9 of these things, and each one just curled your hair. I think I had black hair back then, but now it turned white after all those things. So anyway, we went out there to the house and we were filming, and we got to the part where the room, I'm making this short, got to the room where the little girls played with this ghost. And the guys from Washington University, these PhDs, that said they had cameras that would catch if there was any entity there. And I'm like, yeah, okay, fine. I mean, okay, this is good. I had no idea. Well, back then, if you remember, we didn't have any kind of laptops. So they took their camera and put it down there at the floor and had just a big thick cable into the other room. Thanks, man. And so it was camera, long cable, VHS, and a monitor. No computers, no nothing. They couldn't have done anything. So I'm in the room there. We have two TV cameras, like I said. We have a young girl that is college learning how to use this EMF meter, and she comes into the room, and you see the psychic Joyce is there in a rocking chair, and she's calling in this ghost and everything. And great film. I mean, it had candles going. This is an old log cabin, and so all of a sudden, the girl with the EMF meter, it starts going dee, 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 and she goes, "Oh God!" And she throws it, and she grabs herself like this, and I'm like, cut. Okay, this is nice film. What in the hell just happened? And she's like, I don't know. Something just hit me right here, and my camera went off, and the EMF meter was too hot to hold, and oh my God, I don't know. And I was like, well, okay, this we can use this. This will be pretty good. Okay, Joyce, what do you think it is? Well, right then the guys, the doctors from Washington University, these PhDs, came in and says, Mr. Hinkle. And I said, yeah. Oh, your camera. Did you catch anything? Come here. So we walked into the other room. Again, I'm just looking what I saw here, and they play it back, and it's from a different angle, and this black, kind of black and white, greeny, which you're used to seeing now because of all the shows, but back then there was nothing like this. And you see the girl come in with the EMF meter. You see the psychic going like this. Well, all of a sudden, here comes this 4-inch orb directly straight across the room, and you see it hit her shoulder, and then as soon as it hits her shoulder, went 90 degrees right up through this little crack in the and so as it came in, and you saw it on this film, hit her shoulder at that moment, that's when she threw everything. And it was, okay, play that again. And then we played it over and over. And it's like, what is that? Well, that's the little girl that they were calling in. That's an orb. And then they start telling us about orbs. And I said, so you couldn't have done anything. There's no computers. There's no nothing. Well, everybody came in and started watching it. And at that point, you had to make a decision. You either had to go la 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 and not want to think about anything. Yes, I still have the footage. I really do. I'm gonna look for that and put it online. I will let everybody know. I'll let you know. I'll let you know when I do that. I have it down in the basement with a lot of other footage. And then at that time, you either, like I said, had to just decide I don't want to have anything to do with this. You're welcome, man. And or you go, there is something going on here, because we had all been in that room. We had seen this happen, but we didn't see this orb. They had these special cameras that they'd worked on in their labs, and I never understood how they worked, but you wouldn't believe what we caught on there through the years. So at that time, the guy who was editing our film, he came in there and looked at it, went downstairs, pumped a few Budweisers, and left. And a happy Halloween to you. This is a good day. The little goblins will be here soon. He went down, had a bunch of Budweisers, left, sent all of our film that he was editing for us back, would never speak to us again. He didn't want to question his reality that he'd lived to in all that. Yeah, it's crazy. He didn't want to question his reality. And all of us were like, this is something. And I asked these PhDs, I said, what was that? Was that it? That was the little girl? Now, is that a soul? Is it what is that exactly? And this is the first time, and that's why I was so glad to get a hold of Lynn McTaggart. If anybody wants to understand what is going on, denial is not a river in Egypt. You're right. And he was in major denial. And so it was one of these things the doctor said, well, you can't kill energy. Science 101, you can't kill energy. What in the world is powering our bodies? We have something that's powering us up. We don't know what it is. There's been all of these experiments where they actually put people on their deathbeds, literally on their deathbeds, in these rubber slings to catch anything and weigh them. And every single time at millisecond of flat line, 6 to 8 ounces leaves the body. Ectoplasm? Maybe. They wouldn't tell me. They just said that we have something, this nuati, this energy, it's called so many different things in so many different languages, that is our spirit, and when we die, energy can't die, so it goes somewhere. So this was my first my first ghost hunt, my first up close and personal with a little entity that was awful nice. So we saw some wonderful things. This was the very first of any of the ghost hunts we did. Um, I'll share something I haven't shared with a lot of people, and I should say we are pure energy, and it's not leaving. This is true. This is very, very true. That young lady just said that. It's Brian Weiss freaked me out with some of his stories. Yes, wonderful man. A little bit about Brian Weiss, and if anybody wants to know about past lives, which I am a true believer in past lives, if you really look into everything, everything's a circle. Why is our life the only thing that is linear? And you know, you just think about it really a lot, and you'll understand. But Brian Weiss, he was a very, very, very well known, very well respected psychiatrist, and all of a sudden he got into, oh, that's your friend in Germany. Well, welcome from Germany. And he was working with this one lady and was doing some regression and some hypnosis, and she was saying and doing things that she could have only known if she was actually there, and it was way, way, way in the past. So as Brian Weiss we're talking about, as a researcher, he went ahead and really did everything, logged everything, and did everything just the way a researcher would do. And he came to a final conclusion that yes, there are past lives. We all have had them. We, you know, hints are there, like our abilities and everything. And so he had to make a decision: do I publish and ruin my career, or well, I have to. And so he did, and it did anything but ruin his career. He is known all over the world. The books and everything that he's done has helped so many people. So anyway, thank you all so much for joining. This is the little Halloween ghost story that changed my whole view of things. The first time I was there. You know, I'm from Missouri. Show me. I was shown, and it was exciting and exhilarating. So maybe the next time I'll talk about when we did this at the Titanic exhibit that came to town. What we saw, the things that happened, unbelievable. So anyway, thank you so much for joining. Some of the people that just got to the end of this wonderful ghost story, hopefully you can watch it again. And starting next week, I'm going to be talking more about Plan B, Secrets of the Divine Feminine, once again. This is my friend Ursa that was in my bed in Germany while I died in the U.S. I mean, I tell you what, that's one of the reasons why we did these, because everybody has a wonderful story that happened at my grandmother's, or with some friends, or something, you know, all these very interesting things. So anyway, thank you so much. Have a great Halloween. And don't be scared of those spooks out there. They're usually pretty darn nice. And you can just say, hey, leave me alone. Thank you. Thank you very much. Great, great time. And eat a lot of chocolate tonight. You know, pick through your kids' stuff and get the best stuff. Thanks. Night. Thank you.